What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Videohomicide, back with day 16 of the 31 Days of Horror 2022 edition. Today we're going back once again to the year of 1987. Monumental year, apparently, because I can't stop fucking watching movies from that era. Just clarifying that this is from 1987. So we got Sam Raimi's Evil Dead 2. All right, this is a very notorious film, well liked by most. I think a lot of people, they're torn between Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2. Personally, I like Evil Dead 2 way better. But as I say that, I like Evil Dead 1 a fuck of a lot. I love Evil Dead 1. But Evil Dead 2, to me, I saw it first. And, it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of, just him being alone way out there in the woods. The bridge being fucked up. He's, that scene where he's like going through the woods and he's like, like all that used to freak me out, man. I thought that was really fucked up because like I had like an image of what was chasing him through the woods or what was lurking through the woods. And then when you finally see it at the end, it's kind of goofy, but like just like using your imagination to think what's out there is one of the scariest things. And like I love how there's all the fog coming from the woods, and the cabin alone just looks like a fucking... The cabin is, like, humongous on the inside, first of all, and it looks small as shit outside. But I like that. I like when they sort of play with that type of stuff. So, Evil Dead 2 is... got some of my favorite moments of horror history. And one of them is obviously Henrietta coming through the... coming up from the cellar, like the fruit cellar. And, like, Henrietta herself just looks so fucking creepy, man. Like dirty and fucked up, come out of the dirt. I love when he discovers the tape recorder and the book, and like there's that knife there and he plays it, and then you got that creepy voice of the doctor or whatever he is, and then he's like, I killed my own wife and I buried her in the fruit cellar in a shallow grave. Like, that's fucked, man. And that's when she bursts from the ground. Love that shit. Obviously, I love that scene where he's laughing his ass off because, like, the lamps go laughing his ass off. The fucking deer on the walls laughing. The doors back and forth laughing. The fucking spoons and forks are flying off the shelf. Like, craziness, man. And, like, that is, like, Ash, like, going into his insanity, like, entering insanity. And I always liked that. And I always kind of thought about that. Like you'd go crazy, because, like, 95% of the people... Well, maybe not 95% of people, like maybe fucking like half of people on the planet, they're not going to experience anything like that. Like it's no one's going to experience it physically. Like, it's not actually going to happen, but mentally, people are going through some fucking crazy shit. So, I think that some of my favorite parts of this film all stem from like its relation to a comedic element, like with the girl that gets her head cut off. Or his girlfriend, and then she's like dancing around in the woods and all that kind of shit. And then later on, obviously, with the hand being cut off, giving him the finger, it's sort of giving it like a Tom and Jerry vibe. You know what I mean? Maybe not completely Tom and Jerry, but it's very cartoonish, this film, and I like that. Obviously, the chainsaw on the hand is so fucking iconic. I'm not gonna talk about Army of Darkness. I fucking hate that movie. Shout out to my buddy Retro or Die. He loves it. I fucking hate it. That's why we're friends. But later on in the film, once Ash is basically at the fucking brink of just losing his mind, we meet this other batch of characters. You meet like this hillbilly guy who I actually met, Danny Hicks, I believe his name is. He's passed away. His girlfriend, and then the daughter of the scientist or the doctor, and then her like associate. And they all go to this cabin. And that's where, they find Ash. I don't know if they discover him right away as a zombie or what, but I always loved how the hick guy like kicked him down into kicks him in the face, basically sends him down into the cellar, and then later on when they got to go down there and get the pages of the book, crazy stuff, man. I love that hick guy. He like puts him down there and Bobby Joe, all that. This is just a good fun movie, man. It's a great film from when I was a kid. I mean, obviously, I wasn't a kid when this film came out, but I watched it a lot when I was a kid. And I watched it probably way more than Evil Dead 1, that's for sure. But I definitely watched Evil Dead 1 quite a bit in my later years over Evil Dead 2. Just because I'd seen Evil Dead 2 so much. But I love it. One of my favorite moments of this film, and I'm sure a lot of people that like to draw and shit can relate, when it shows the book of the dead and it's like shows it being written and like all the drawings in it and stuff like that. I always thought that was so cool, and I always wanted to like own that fucking DVD edition that looked like the Book of the Dead, and just like make my own pages like from that. Fuck, it was so cool. Like the red ink, like it was fucking penned in blood and bound in human flesh. Like just the thought of that is crazy. So, you know, and again, like I've mentioned before with movies like Ninth Gate and you know, I'm blanking out right now, but you know, movies that have to do with books, I always like that. And this movie, I believe the working title was Book of the Dead, which is cool. You know, I think Evil Dead is a pretty fucking gnarly name for it, though. But Book of the Dead would have been fine, to be honest with you. I think Sam Raimi is definitely an institution in terms of independent cinema. I think a lot of people like myself that have, like, you know, aspired to be, you know, not to be, but to make short films, make films. You look up to guys like George Romero, Sam Raimi, you know, those. I think George Romero especially, just because of the effect that his film Night of the Living Dead had on future horror films. But Sam Raimi definitely took that idea and ran with it. You got guys like Robert Rodriguez later on who would make films for like fucking $5,000 and shit like that, which is insane. Nowadays, if like the $5,000 is like the budget for the fucking water, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So yeah, man, I think if you've not watched the Evil Dead films, you're doing yourself a disservice, but I'm pretty sure most of you fuckers already have seen it. So I won't waste any more of your time today on the 16th of October, which is actually fucking tomorrow. But I will definitely say, leave a 666 in the comments. Make sure you let me know what your thoughts are on Evil Dead 2, if you have any thoughts on it, that is. And have a lovely day.